Okay, so far what we have is this, and then the page we have is this one. So we have worked on the home, we have also worked on the about, and then contact. Okay, so we are coming to work on the classes section. So we need to also assign some pages here, and then likewise we need to also set a photo gallery here as well. So that's what we'll be building today, and then later look at we'll be concentrating on smaller units of items on our page. So something like this particular section here, where we have an image icon with a name at the right side and then the position at the right side below the name. So how can we design something, this sort of thing, if we are asked to do it in a React component? How can we do that? And then also we'll focus on something of this sort. So these are the smaller units of things that I said we'll be concentrating on, we'll be focusing on, to ensure that we all can be able to at least do a design, arrange sections of our page in the order in which, or the manner in which we want to arrange them. So the first thing we'll be doing is to work on the classics section. So I'm going back in here to actually create a component for that. So we want to create a component for a card. Okay, we'll be creating a nice card, and then this card will be used to display different activities that we would want to render on the page, like different types of courses. Okay, so it's just going to be one card, but then we can reuse it for multiple things. That is how the card is going to be, and the card is just going to be a box below and then a circular object at the top, and then also within the box, the circular object will have an image inside it, and then also within the box, the square box at the bottom, would have the title of the course, and then some badges, like a circular badge with some figures, maybe the amount of the course and so on would be there, and probably the teacher, the instructor of that particular course. So we are starting to build that, and we need a component to create that card. So let's click on the component section and click on new file. Let me zoom this page a little bit for you to see. Okay, so I'll click on the component section, card, and then the card we are going to create is, we'll call it classes card. Okay, .js, classes card.js. Then we'll generate the boilerplate for that particular component. So we now have this. Now we'll start building the UI for this particular card. The first part is going to be for the circular object. So first, let's give it a class name here, and the class name is going to be classes hyphen card. Okay, classes hyphen card, that's going to be the name. Then the second part is going to be, let's put some section here, and inside this section, this is going to bear a class name of card. Okay, then in there we have a div that has a class name of card circle. Let's call it card circle. and then we'll have another div with a class of card square, right? So those names can be coined by you. It can be in any form, right? But this is what we want, how I want to name them. The card circle would host, or would be the circular object with the image inside it, and then the other section, which is the square, would be where the other contents would be lying. So since it's going to be inserted in the classes section of the page, we can also style it. Okay, we can call it here and style it. So let us first of all insert it into the classes section. So below the heading of classes, let's go and then, okay, give me a minute, the light is in. Okay, so let's see. So I'm hoping others will join soon, but let's continue. So we have the footer section, and in the we have the footer for this card, but then this particular classes section, but we want to create a div here, and inside this div we'll put in the component for our cards. Okay, so we'll call this class name of card container, and then we would import the card, which is called the classes card.
Sir, please, your screen is not moving.
Oh, okay. So let me resolve. The step I took was to create a classes card. We'll come here, we'll do a whole lot of stuff here, but then for now this is what we want to do, and then import this, the card container, or the card classes card. Okay, this is the classes card. We want to import the classes card in the classes component here, and we already have the classes component in the pages folder. So we'll just create a div with a class. I just created a div with a class of card container in that section above the footer, and then in here we'll just open up this card container and then specify the classes card, right, component we have just created. You wait for it to resolve so that you can click on it to import it at the top, and then you self close it. So we have created that. So we have, if we review our page, the classes, we wouldn't see anything there, but that component is there. It's because the classes card we created does not have anything inside this. So let's say I put circular image here, and then here I say it's a square box. So when I save this, then I will see something showing up here. You can see them here. So the card is actually there, but then we are not seeing it because we have not placed anything inside it. Now the next thing we want to look at is to style this particular section. So as we style it, you see the changes on the page. So that's why I had to insert it here, so that the moment I start styling, everything will begin to take form and then change. So let me collapse this. We have a CSS index.css file in here, and that's where we've been doing all our design, our styling. So before the footer, I want to insert the classes section here. So I'll create a comment and say classes. So that shows where the classes section lies. And then the first thing we want to do in the classes section when we look at the card is that we have the card itself, okay, and then we also have the classes card contain itself here. So it means we can target the classes card and give it a specific width. We can give it a specific width, which is called classes card, but then it's on a div, so we can target that. So there is going to be a div with classes card, okay. That div will have, let's say, a width of, let's give it a specific width, let's say 200 px for now, and then the height is going to be, let's say 400 px. So my page is resolving, and you can see it's created that amount of space. Then we want to provide a background color to that particular card. So let's say background color is going to be a var color with this particular background color here. You see this background color is a variable we have created at the top, so it will give it that pale color there. And then the width of 200 is not enough. We can even give it a percentage value, but then let's hold on with that for the meantime, and then just do, let's try to play with the width and see what size we can get. So I think we'll start with 200, but then eventually we'll have to increase the width a little bit. So let's do that. So now we have this, and then we also will target the circular section. So the circular section is going to be this part, okay. So if in actual fact this is the entire card, so we are not actually applying the whole thing in the entire card. Yeah, that is what the background, we don't have to apply it in the entire card. It's actually going to be in the square, and here we have the circle and the square all in the card container, this card container here. So even we could target the same element with the card container inside it. So let's say this particular element also